victory over every bit of that. Whatever problem we're facing in our lives, Jesus has victory over that. We might not see it yet, but we will. We might even not see it all come about in this life. You know, we don't always feel like we have victory, do we? But we do, because we have to see beyond this world to what God has done for us. Not only the promise and their purpose, their posture, the position and their pageantry, also their presentation. How are they presenting themselves in this narrative? John depicts them as having palm branches. And that's one of the ways he connects this passage with the triumphal entry. Because all of the other gospel writers, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, say they cut branches from the tree. But here John said in his narrative of the gospel, said palm branches. Now in the Apocalypse, John, who wrote both of those, says that it was palm branches. Only John does that. Making that connection for a reason, you know? And the fact that Jesus had said seeds, talking about when a kernel of wheat falls and dies, then it makes many seeds. That's another way he connected these two passages. But why palm branches? Well, there's something interesting about a palm tree. Palm tree grows straight up, straight towards heaven. It never twists. It's never hung down. It's always straight up. It's reflective of the Christian life. Yeah, the straight life, the life that's looking towards God, up towards heaven. A palm tree is fruitful, reflective of the Christian life. A palm tree has durability and flexibility, known to survive hurricanes and tsunamis. You know why? They bend, but they rarely fall. We bend a little bit, but we're made to stand as believers. Another thing about a palm tree is that its roots don't harden with age. You know what? Life hasn't always been easy, but I don't want to get bitter. I want to be better. I want to get better with age. I don't want to get hard with age, but I want to be better. The second thing about them, about this multitude we can notice, is that they cried out in a loud voice. Their worship was audible. Obviously, they weren't ashamed of Jesus Christ. And another way that John connects this passage with the passage in his gospel, in the triumphal entry, this is very interesting. That when they say salvation belongs to our God, that is a passage echoed from Psalms 118. The same psalm where they had the palm branches and said, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." This psalm comes from that very same psalm. In Psalms 118 and 14 it says, "He has become my salvation." Psalms 18:21, "You have become my salvation." It's echoing. He's making an intentional connection there. Thirdly, in this presentation of this multitude, we are shown the joy and the triumph of the redeemed. And that gives us hope. That we are going to be triumphant too. That because we are washed in the blood of the Lamb, we're going to be given a robe. And we'll stand with this multitude. Besides their presentation, we also have a promise of provision and protection, as we read a minute ago. He who sits on the throne will spread his tent over them. Never again will they hunger. Never again will they thirst. The sun will not beat down upon them, or any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of water, and God will wipe away every tear. God's provision and his protection is a promise given in this narrative to this multitude that is there before the throne. That promise isn't made for the multitude that's already there. That promise is made for the one here who's still in the wilderness wandering, to give us hope and strength and to encourage, to carry on in faith through whatever comes our way. And in this context, a lot of this is persecution, something most of us here in the West don't even have to deal with. Most of this is persecution throughout the apocalypse of people of God all over. Seems to be a global persecution. The early church, the first 300 years, faced persecution. Their wilderness wandering was more than, some of the hiccups we have in life. They were in a fight for their life to survive. But even when martyrdom came, they could find hope. When they were facing prison and martyrdom, they had hope. They could look at a passage like this and know that this was written for them, not for the ones already there. The ones already there, they already know what it's like to be in His presence and to not hunger and to not thirst. But here, we have a word of encouragement to those who are still going through this journey. Jesus portrays Himself as the Good Shepherd. Interestingly enough, it was John who said that, who has the narrative that where Jesus said, "I am the Good Shepherd," and here He demonstrates what the Good Shepherd does. John, he wrote both of those, and he uses the same kind of writing pattern, and he connects this, makes this connection with the shepherd role of Jesus Christ. It's nurturing, it's encouraging, it's protecting. I'm going to close with this thought. As Jesus entered Jerusalem, some people celebrated Him as just a healer, some as just a prophet, some as just a good man, and some in the crowd just did what everybody else was doing. They grabbed a palm branch and sung the song just because everybody else was doing it. By the end of the week, they were yelling, "Crucify Him." I wonder if those who just simply went along with the crowd, if by the end of the week, if they too were yelling, "Crucify Him." But what I wonder the most is how many of those waving those palm branches as Jesus entered Jerusalem, how many of those will be in this multitude in heaven waving a palm branch? How many of them will be there holding that palm branch? And most of all, will you be there